is often that our greatest fear is that of which we do not know. But what really hides in the dark? What are the shadows we see out of the corner of our eye? What is that feeling of being watched? That is what we are destined to find out. Who are we? We are Phasmaphobes. Metamora Township is a town with just over 150 people. It's a happy community with people that do their best with what they have. But laying in the grounds and the walls of the town is a story of which we've never seen in any town before. Tales of intense ghost activity, tales of disturbing betrayals, and tales of isolation. But while the entire town has its own stories per every building, we decided to focus on the most beautiful and historic building there, the Monroe Allison House, or otherwise known as the Gingerbread House. The Gingerbread House was built in the 1870s by Monroe Allison himself. Monroe Allison housed not only himself, but a wife and 5 children. Towards the end of Allison's life, he was the only one who remained in the house. He was known to often spend hours in the cupola alone and reflecting. More on that later. Once Monroe died, his house began to lay waste to Mother Nature. Throughout the years, his house became overgrown and broken. But while the physical body of the Allison family is no longer here, many believe that pieces of the family still reside in the home. Spirits are often photographed in the windows. Unknown voices and sounds are heard within the building's walls, and it's even common to see the manifestation of these spirits within the house. Going into our trip, we knew very little about Metamora and the house we were going to enter. While eating breakfast, I voiced some of my concerns about our upcoming investigation. We're gonna be going into like uncharted territory. See, like with the craft house, it was like different because I've been there multiple times and like I knew the layout. None of us know anything about this house. The uncertainty of the town and the house put us on edge. Nevertheless, we put our fears aside and drove 2 hours to the infamous town of Metamora. Upon pulling into Metamora's town square, we noticed one key detail: desolation. The town seemed desolate in the morning. Very few people were out, stores were quiet, and the streets were empty. It was as if we were entering a ghost town where we didn't belong. We felt out of place, and the passing glances of the locals showed us that this was, indeed, the case. Once we got our things around, we decided to take our first tour of the town. So we made it. We made it to Metamora. This is Metamora. We got all the boys. Yep. Michael, how are you feeling?
Feeling all right, you know.
It's strange because a lot of the things were closed. I think it's just because of COVID or something like that.
So, if you look over there, they have signs that says like 10 to 5 on Saturday, 10 to 4 on Sunday. But none of these shops are open. Not a lot of them, at least. There's a lot of the antique, like a lot of the shops are open, but a lot of the food stores aren't. But yeah, no, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with all the food stores and everything.
It's really beautiful town. If you like look at the trees and stuff, like it's beautiful. This house over here is cool. I think it's a library. You wanna go try to go to that? Maybe you're right. Dip, it's not a house. This building was built crooked and is evidenced by the correction of the laying of crooked. Let's go.
I really like the history of this place. There's a lot of cool things that people should respect in Metamora.
Yeah, I filmed a person driving a pirate ship.
The town was spontaneous. The archaic architecture of Metamora made every building unique and eventful. Every place we went to had its own different feel and look. As our adventure continued, we found ourselves in a newly made guitar shop. They had many instruments, and they even had a violin.
Okay.
Built that, probably 15 years ago. And I guess he was some sort of kind of different religious sort of a person. And I think that I don't think he's up there anymore. I don't think they do anything with that, but they used to have some kind of meetings up there. And I don't know just exactly what they were. I don't know if they were Muslims or something, but they built that building went up that hill.
Oh, that's the guy that built that I bought this from.
What's that?
That's the guy I bought this building from.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
They built the castle?
Yeah. He built that. Oh God, this guy's a nut. He built that castle because he was thoroughly convinced God's coming back to earth, and that's where God's going to come, is that big hill up
That
there.
hill?
And that castle's where God was. But you know how they always say such and such a date? Well, that date's gone 2 or 3 years ago, so he sold the building because God never showed up.
So, do you know where he went?
Oh yeah,
Where'd he go?
he's in Florida, but he'll be back Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mike's never seen him yet. He
Bought the building and he was in Florida. And he bought the little house behind us. He's gonna move in there.
What was his name? Paul?
Yeah.
because while we were here, we were getting ready. We looked up like what it was, and it was like we heard like a bunch of stories, like he had like some stones or something. Or,
Yeah.
No, he's got rocks. This used to be a museum. And he had rocks in here because we took all of it out. It's all in that room behind it. He's gonna move all that stuff out of here next week. He's got rocks that God sent him from heaven.
oh, does he still? What does he do with this? Is it just like in a box or like? That's it. Have you seen the rocks in person?
Anything special, or is it just like just some rocks?
Apparently, Paul was an extremely religious man who built a castle atop a hill near Metamora. This castle served as a church and, according to Paul, was going to be the new birthplace of God. Unfortunately, we have no footage of this castle. Next, we came across a shop of handcrafted jewelry and gadgets. Immediately after entering, we became introduced to the interesting Shopkeeper.
It's outside and you're hearing that, you just want to throw a rock at it. But I wouldn't do that, but I will chase you out. Go on, go on, go on. But it just sits up there and see, it's been up here. Oh, you little jackass.
Little did we know, this is where our paranormal adventure would finally start.
Has they found anything?
Oh God, yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, this house is terribly, this was the doctor's house.
Oh.
Yeah, and my bedroom upstairs was now my workroom because we moved, but the room upstairs was where I sleep is the doctor's, was the adult infirmary, and then where my mom sleeps behind it was the children's. And so my mom, there's so many freaky things, but we hear noises on the stairs all the time, and the big thing is smells. We can be gone for a week and walk in and you will smell pipe tobacco so strong upstairs. It'll nearly knock you down. The big thing though, and it really doesn't have that much to do with the house, is my mom found this mannequin in one of the shops up front that had been hit in the head with a hammer, and it disturbed her really bad. So she took it home And she patched its head up and painted this beautiful makeup on it and gave it a wig and gave it a name. She named it Caroline, or Sweet Caroline. And then one of the group of investigators came in, and they have a medium. And he doesn't know anything about the house. I'm sure you know that, because one of you must be, or something. But this guy, you know, he was like 50 years old and had been doing it his whole life, you know, had this gift, I guess, or curse, I don't know which it is. But anyway, so he knows nothing about the situation. And he came in and he has a notebook that he writes everything down in. And so two of the investigators didn't want to go in the room where Caroline is, because she's upstairs in the corner. She just kind of stooped over and she looked scary. She looked spooky. And they didn't want to go in there because of her. And there's also a really old doll, little girl doll that's pretty tall, and she's really spooky. But anyway, the guys didn't want to go in there. My girlfriend, who has the shop in the middle down here, she was here when they did it, and she said that one of them said, "We're not going in there because of that mannequin. It's too." She goes, "Because that mannequin's freaks us out." And Kathy's like, "No, don't worry about Caroline. She's fine." And the medium handed her his notebook, and the only thing he had written for this house was Caroline.
Whoa.
So that freaked us out really bad.
That is.
I told my mom, she has the closets in her room. The way the house is built, I'm sure you've seen this in an old house where that slopes down and then the closets are real short.
Yeah.
And so I kept saying, the closet stretches the entire length of the house. And I said, "Mom, there's something spooky about that closet." This was about 11:30 in the morning. And I said, "There's something spooky about that closet. I just can't stand it. I don't like it at all. I don't even want to go in there." And she was like, "Don't be silly. There's nothing wrong." That afternoon, this dude comes in, and his grandfather was a minister and lived in this house, and he beat his children, which was the guy's father, beat him and locked him in that closet, and it would get so hot that he would pass out. Yeah. Wow. And I knew instinctively, but I think you always hear about people getting locked in closets, but kids, but yeah, he really did.
After hearing about the multiple accounts of paranormal activity, we decided to do a quick spirit box session to see if we could capture anything. I heard hey.
Yeah, ask what it means.
Is there anybody in here with us? Anybody up here? They just say no. Yes?
Yes.
Who's up here with us? Can you say your name?
Might be too specific.
They said this is the doctor's house.
My name's Evan. Can you say Evan back to me? Can you say any of our names back to us? My name's Evan. This is JP. This is Michael. And that's Alan. Can you say any of those names?
I don't think we did anything.
I think he said Michael. Did you hear that? He just said Michael. Did you hear that? Tell me you heard that. No, I'll have to look back at the footage. As we are about to leave, I hear Michael's name just faintly on the spirit box. I think. As well as this, when we first entered the room, Alan exclaimed later that he was hit with a feeling like he had never felt before. Could this have been the doctor of the previous infirmary trying to communicate with us? Nevertheless, we continued our adventure. At this point, we had seen and heard a lot of stories and decided to reflect on our journey so far.
How you guys feel about Metamora so far? How's it like? How's the feel going?
I like Metamora.
Ever since we got here, it feels like we went house to house, like store to store, and every single person's had a story.
Yeah. Yeah, we've gotten a story out of everyone that we've interviewed so far, and they've all been really good.
And also, every single person in this town has already heard about us.
Yeah, everyone that we've talked to has known who we are.
Basically the celebrities. I hate this.
Like, we'll walk in somewhere and be like, "Oh yeah, I've heard about you guys are the paranormal people." It's kind of strange.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, because we're, amateurs. But
I think that people here feel so strongly about the town itself that they're so they try to entice you to get look how awesome this is. It feels very contained here.
It feels like this place has its own
It's its own world.
It feels like it's its own world. It's either that this is so well scripted and everyone knows the tales that they're supposed to tell so well, or this is all real.
So far, it's been pretty interesting. I think I think there's a lot more in store. Like, I feel like we're just touching the tip of the iceberg. We've heard some stories, and I feel like we're going to experience some stuff. At least I hope so. And I think there's something is going to happen. That's going to be hopefully pivotal. And we'll just have to wait for tonight to find out.
Hopefully we don't get sacrificed.
Yeah.
That's Phasmaphobes signing out.
The experiences we had in the town alone were unique. Going to Metamora is like going to another world. Every person knows the other, and every person has a distinctive story. The best way to describe the inner feelings of this town is just uncanny. After, we headed to our second-to-last destination of the day. It was another shop of unique accessories and interesting items. While taking a look around, we came across the shop's owner, and just like everyone we had met so far, they had a story to tell.
I'll tell you a story that happened maybe a month ago. We had a customer come in, and this customer walked into the store, and I was standing right here by the register, and they walked in through the front door, and if you just pop around the corner there, you'll see a knife display case.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he was standing right in front of the knife display case. He was like the only one in the store other than myself at the moment, and he said, "Come here." And I thought, oh, he wanted to see something in the knife display case. I'll open it up for him. And I walk over there to him, and he stops me, and he goes, "Do you hear that?" I said, "What?" He goes, "Look, the ceiling tiles are even moving. There's somebody walking around upstairs. You got somebody up there?" And I said, "No." Not physical. Right. You know, it's place is haunted. You know, we're used to it. It didn't faze me at all. I'm hear it every day. And so he was just stood there and flipped out, and he was just kind of listening and listening. You could just watch him like intently listening to all the footsteps upstairs. Well, then all of a sudden, the whole store got flooded with other customers, and we were getting busy. So my other employee that was here at the moment, she was outside on the front porch smoking a cigarette. So I walked by, went out the front door, said, "Ryan, just sit right down, I need some help in here." I turned around, came in through the front door to come back to assist these customers, knowing that Ryan would be right behind me. And all of a sudden, I get back here to this register to ring somebody up, and she's beating on the front door. Like, "Why'd you lock me out?" I'm like, "I didn't lock you out. I just asked you to come in and help." So after the guy realized what he had just witnessed happen, that mysteriously the door gets locked, he booted out, and I've not seen him since. And I didn't walk him in the building again. There's also a local man that lived in Metamora his pretty much all adult life. We were very good friends with him. He passed away from cancer maybe 6 years ago. Maybe it's been 6 years. And he used to, before we had this building as a gift shop, he used to actually reside here upstairs. And he always said, "Well, when I die, I'm going to come back and haunt you because this is my house first." And so now all the stuff that happens, we're like, "Oh, hey, Rick. Funny. So I do think a lot of it, the mischievous stuff, is Rick.
Yeah.
However, we have seen, even before Rick passed away, there's an older man in a plaid shirt that lives here, or etherically. You see him going up and down the steps a lot. There's a little girl in the house that calls me Mom from time to time. You can hear people talking in here as well.
When I'm making our kundalini, our chakra bags, I'll be standing here and there'll be a little girl, well, she's about this tall. She'll just be peeping around the corner. And then Rick plays all the time. He'll move the chair upstairs while we're down here. Joanne, Deanna, and I were all three in here. And I walked through the room. I walked through the doorway and heard the chair slide. And I was like, "Is Tamara up there?" She said, "No, Rick's been playing today." So yeah, it's definitely active.
So creepy.
Yeah, it's not really creepy. It's good that we know who it is, and it's fun. And it's just like, oh yeah, it's Rick. He's just here with us.
Well, you guys are used to it. We're
True.
First time visitors.
I mean, earlier I had my name called, and Vic had his name called, and it wasn't anybody. But we just take that as they're just here to play with us and interact with us.
When we first moved in, is before we converted into a store. We were staying upstairs. It was like a cold January night. It was freezing. We didn't have no heat in here. nothing going yet. And I had a propane heater, a salamander. You're supposed to use outdoor only. And my wife was wanting to hook it up to get a little bit of heat going in here. I'm like, well, it's carbon monoxide poisoning. We really shouldn't hook it up in here. But she was so cold, and I'm a nice guy, so I hooked it up. I said, well, run it for a little while, get the chill off the place. So we were upstairs in the room right above us, and in the far corner of the room, there was a propane tank, and then we had the line from the propane tank stretched this way, attached to the salamander, pointing in the one room where we were staying. Well, like I said, I told her I'm doing this against, my better judgment. And we're sitting there, we got the heater running, we're getting warm, it's nice. And out of nowhere, it looks like somebody ran up and kicked that heater. We're sitting on the other side of the room, far corner of the house over there. The heater's in this doorway here. And it looked like somebody just ran up and football punted that heater into the other room. Well, the heater goes flying into this room above us and lands on its side. Now these heaters have mechanisms in them. If they tip over, they shut off. It's a safety. It didn't shut off. And then it was pointing this way, and when I walked in here to get the heater and fix it, the whole thing just spun around and pointed itself towards the propane tank. Still burning. Still shooting out flames at the propane tank. Well, I reached over real quick and shut the gas off to the propane tank. But I think the spirits of the house were saying, that's really not a good idea, because Metamora has been plagued with so many different fires in so many different places. Between the building, one of a kind Kathy's in, the old livery stable used to sit out here, burnt down, the broom factory burnt down. There were just so many fires in Metamora. I think the spirits of the house or the ancestors of Metamora were saying, hey, shut that heater down. But it was just so odd how, number one, it didn't turn itself off. And then when I went in the room, it spun itself completely around and pointed at our propane tank.
You literally saw it spin?
I literally seen it spin. I seen it launch from where it was sitting, and it looked like somebody just kicked the front of it. It went flying in the air, landed on the other room, and hit the ground. That should have been enough to shut it down. And then when I walked in there, it just spun and pointed at the tank. And I was like, I'm turning the tank off now. Leave me alone.
Whoa.
It does. Anywhere where there's history, you're going to find lots of residual hauntings because it's just built up. And lots of people love Metamora so much, even when they pass on, they don't want to leave. I make jokes. It's probably not a joke. I make jokes to everybody. I own the diner across the street, and then my house is a couple blocks from the diner. I have to make a joke. When I die, you're going to see my ghost walking from the gem mine to the diner to the house, across the bridge, and back. I love Metamora. It's a neat place, and I can understand why a lot of people have so much emotion for this place. When they pass over, they stay. They stay.
Slowly, night was drawing closer, and with it, so did our investigation. We got dinner at a pub in town and rested before our big night. None of us had any idea what to expect inside the Allison house. The archaic structure was intimidating in some ways, and we were concerned at what exactly we might find. With as much popularity this house has in the town, we were surely hoping for an eventful night. Finally, we packed up our things and started on our way to the Monroe Allison house.
Alright, so today we find ourselves at the Monroe Allison house, and we're just getting ready. We're moments away from doing our investigation. We're going to be in there for as long as we can and see what we can find. Today, unlike our other investigations, we have some new equipment. We have a spirit box, which we're going to be using to hopefully detect some sort of speech in there, and we'll just kind of show how that works once we actually enter the building. We also have an EMF reader, which is new, hopefully to detect anything that is producing electromagnetic signal or anything like that inside, and we'll see if that picks up anything. So we're about to go in. Wish us luck, and I hope we find something. I appreciate you doing that. That was awesome. I didn't even realize you did it. Could you try to turn it back on again, maybe?
Can you turn the other light on for us, please? That first one was really good.
Yeah, that showed up really well.
Turned off again. Cool. Can you turn this other one on over here for us?
If that's too difficult, turn on the other light again.
If you're still here with us, can you please turn on the one on the right?
On the left.
That's the one on the right.
It is.
No, it isn't. Well,
Yeah,
I
it is.
guess maybe from their point of view.
There,
You don't know.
my right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So we're going to try to use something to communicate with you.
Try to talk through it with us. Try to talk to it, and we can hear you. We can hear your voice. I'm gonna turn it on now. Might be a little loud.
Hello.
Are you turning on this flashlight right now?
So probably.
What is your name?
John?
Let's stop. Are you turning on that light right now?
You definitely got something that's trying.
That was clear. I don't know what that was.
How are you doing?
What? Me?
Yeah, you. How are you doing?
Is that Allison?
Are you turning on this light right now? Can you turn it back on again? What?
Hello? Whoa! Oh! Little scared.
What?
I saw a figure poking out from that stairwell.
Dude, right when that happened, it said hello.
Hello?
Whoa!
Exactly as I hear the spirit box say hello, Michael sees an apparition with his own eyes. The timing of this event is unreal, and it seems this was our first contact.
Hi. Can you poke out again? Did you see that?
Yes, right here.
Are you there? Are you in the kitchen right now?
Here! Oh, it said here!
It's gonna sit on here. I heard that very clear.
I 100% saw someone peeking around the door. As soon as I got a glimpse of that light, I saw
Let's go to
someone.
the kitchen first. I think I saw something like that.
Hello?
Yes?
Are we going the right way?
Yeah, I guess. Do you want us to go this way? Me?
Okay, does someone else take the lead here?
We're in the kitchen. Is there anybody in here with us? I feel like I heard a male voice. I just heard murder.
What?
Can you tell us what happened here?
Was there a murder? It said yeah. It just went, yeah, it was a dude.
I think the voices are not.
Is this usual?
Yeah, they're here.
No.
Is anyone still up here with us? Do you want us to go back downstairs? Farewell.
What?
Just say farewell. Dude, whoa.
What?
Something just moved in there. Like, I literally just saw it move. Something just moved.
What moved?
Over in there.
Did you get on video?
I don't think so. We can check. I don't know if I did or not. I wasn't looking. Get the game out in there. Is it going off?
Can I see the camera?
It's going off.
Walter, do you throw something?
It sounded like something just moved. It sounded like... I don't know what that was. Something moved. Alright, I'm gonna come over. This is for Naomi's sit, right?
Yes.
Can you look at the window?
Space, Naomi. I'm not trying to intrude. I just wanna... If you're over here, I just want you to talk to us. I'm gonna turn on this device in my hand. I just want you to speak into it. It's got a little red light on it, and just try talking into it.
No, like it was blinking red in his pocket.
Well, is there something else in your pocket as well?
My lighter. Some batteries. Wait. Naomi, were you over here for a little bit? Who was that? Can you tell me your name?
We stop it and then we start again. We stop it and then we listen again.
While recording this EVP, we catch something we can't explain. As I'm shuffling through my pockets, you can hear what sounds like someone whispering. We believe this could have been Naomi, the wife of Monroe Allison, as she is believed to often stare out this window and reflect upon the events of her life.
The entire thing is shaking. Yeah, I think you just gotta wait a second. Yeah.
That's vigorously shaking though.
It's like vibrating.
Walter, are you shaking that?
It's really strange because there's nothing running in here that should cause that.
Flash the light if it's Walter. Walter, I swear to God.
Did you flash the light?
Yeah, he flashed the light.
If there's anybody in here that would like to talk to us, could you move that back and forth?
The pendulum back and forth? I see it starting.
It is. I can see it starting from here.
Me too. For those, or if it's only one person, for those present here with us, has your afterlife been enjoyable? Has your experience here as a spirit, have you been content as a spirit? If so, then swing the pendulum.
Forward and back to side.
Sweet.
I can see like jagged pushes. It's weird.
Do you miss your home? Is that why you come here? Is that why you stay? Did you enjoy your life here so much that you just can't bear to leave? If you just can't bear to leave and you love this place so much, could you please move that pendulum for us?
Just move. Some more.
Yeah, start to move. I'm not getting much response from kids. Naomi, are you here with us? Naomi, if you're here, can you please move the pendulum for us?
Still.
All right, if you were the young man who died, could you please move the pendulum? Because I'm feeling a little darkness and sadness. If you are the young man who was murdered, could you please move the pendulum? I just saw a little movement.
For the final part of our investigation, I decided to head up to the cupola of the house, completely alone. This part of the house was constructed last by Allison. It is often said that Monroe Allison built it to reflect upon the mistakes of his life. Alright, what I'm about to do is I'm going to go up to the cupola, and I'm going to go up there for 15 minutes completely alone. I'm hoping to get in contact with Monroe Allison, or anybody that's up there. Apparently it's very active, a lot of EMF stuff up there, so I'm going to go up there, see what I can find. I'm going to try the spirit box, some EVPs, see what's going on. So, here we go. Okay. So I am in here alone now. First notices I can say is that it's very quiet. I can tell why he sat up here. So the first thing I'm going to try is the spirit box. Hello, is there anyone that would like to talk to me in here? Monroe Allison, are you in this room with me? Yes? Yep. Hi. My name is Evan. Can you say Evan back to me? Do you like that I'm in here? Do you think I'm invading your personal space? Hold on. Why did you come up here? No sense. Okay. Not getting anything with that. I have my EMF reader. My EMF reader has not moved. It has stayed solid. I'm just going to keep it in here. I'm going to put it down here. See if it fluctuates. Has not moved yet. I feel like there's somebody else in here with me, but they just don't want to talk. I'm completely alone in this. There's no light. I'm gonna start an EVP session now. It's just me and you. It's okay to talk. Okay. I didn't get anything with that either. I feel, like I already said, I feel a sense of, I feel like somebody else is here with me. They just don't want to talk. They're here, and they know I'm here, and they know I'm asking questions. They feel distant. So I feel a weird sense in my heart, like that I'm heavier. Would be the best way to describe it. Alright, I'm gonna try another spirit box session, and we're gonna see how that goes. Did you murder somebody?
Who did you murder? Are you happy with what you did? Alright, I only have so much more time left, so I'm going to do one more EVP before I go. Here we go. Last EVP. Alright, whoever's in here with me, this is your last chance. I think after this, we're going to be leaving, and I just want to say thank you for all of your cooperation, and all of your help, and all of your responses. You've been very kind, and we all appreciate it. We appreciate all the activity, the things you've shown us. It doesn't go underappreciated. This is your last chance to say something. Say something to anybody that you need to say. Something to get off your chest. Say it into this device in my hand, and it will be recorded and documented. I hope you've had a chance to say what you want to say. But at the same time,
I didn't feel bad.
I didn't feel like anything. I didn't feel like I was alone, but at the same time I didn't feel like there was anything going on. It felt content in there. Just really, it felt like a place of reflection more than anything.
Sometimes in an investigation, the most unique part isn't the house, but the location at which the house remains. Metamora, Indiana is one of those unique gems you don't just find on the side of the road. Metamora is a place of indifferency. In no other place do you find such an interconnection of stories and people. In no other place do you find such a community like this one. To the townsfolk, Metamora is a family. Metamora is a place they never want to leave. So maybe our investigation wasn't about the inner workings of the Monroe Allison house or the dark shadows within, but instead about the incredible tale of Metamora, Indiana.